next up we have Jilliana. Please welcome Jilliana to the stage.
Good evening, fellow scribes. I'm Jilliana Ranicar-Breese from England. I used to live in Paris. I was living in Paris on and off for about 25 years. Anyway, it's good to be back. I'm the author of Jilliana's vignettes, and this is one of my little vignettes called Paris People, and it's number 2. In 1977, I was living full-time in Paris, but had no true identity. I had had a few so-called careers, but never found my true calling in life. I'd been a travel agent, consultant, and a TEFL teacher, but that had been in my past life. I wanted more. I had come to Paris through a chance meeting with the director of the French cultural organization, FMVJ, in Mexico City in 1976. My dream was to become an antique dealer, trading between London and Paris, but I had no connections or experience in that faraway world yet. Paris seemed to be a very cultured and exciting city, and although I was living on a famous street in Montparnasse in the 14th district, at 27 Rue Campagne Première, I knew no one in the art or publishing world. Everyone seemed so sophisticated and mundane, so much more interesting than I was, and oh so knowledgeable about life, love, art, music, and literature. Paris was to be my education, my university of life in the years to come. I would hang out at the Select on Boulevard Montparnasse, but didn't know anyone there to talk to. One day I got talking to the sculptor, artist, and photographer, Polish-Israeli Yehuda Neyman, who had lived in London and spoke excellent English. He took me under his wing, and one evening pointed out an American blonde artist and poet sitting at the bar, who'd been a friend of Henry Miller's. Little did I know that this woman, Arlene Hickley, would become my lifelong friend too. I recall Yehuda taking me to friends for Christmas on the evening of the 24th of December, and we tasted for dessert the rich bouche de Noël. It was at the Christmas dinner that I was introduced to the distinguished, elderly, successful publisher Pierre Auret, who invited us to his forthcoming salon in Saint-Germain. All of Paris will come, artists, writers, and singers, said he. I shuddered as I was a nobody from Liverpool, and this would be a step into the intelligentsia of Paris society. Oh, mon Dieu. The evening arrived, and escorted by Yehuda, we climbed the stairs to a small studio somewhere in the 6th. Everyone seemed to have a name that went with a title, which was their interesting profession. Everyone was announced by our host immediately as they entered the studio, before automatically sitting on the floor on cushions and being offered a glass of wine. All the VIP guests on the floor looked up as Yehuda, who was well known, was announced as the great painter and sculptor. Et moi? My title? Pierre saved my bacon by saying, "And this is Jilliana, and she is Jilliana." Pierre Auret was a known, outspoken publisher, so I was surprised when one Saturday night he phoned me out of the blue and asked me to dine with him at his studio. I'm sure he'd gone through his little black book and been let down by several people, and at the last moment thought of the young gauche woman Yehuda had brought along to his salon, moi. He was very kind and listened patiently as I told him about my life, loves, and travels. We had a pleasant evening, but I never saw him again because he died soon after in 1978. A sad loss to the publishing world, even though his company still carries on today as part of Albin Michel. So So that's the end of that. Have I got time for a quick poem?
15 seconds.
Okay.
If they want to hear more, when are you featuring at Paris Lit Up?
Oh
on
yes,
Thursday?
at Cultura, thank you for the plug, at Paris, no, Culture Rapide, I'm going to be showcased on the 20th, Thursday the 20th. So I'll be on for about half an hour, and that's the main reason I've come from Brighton, where I live, and do a lot of spoken word. And the people, Paris Lit Up, they heard me there when they were doing their English tour and invited me. So I hope that you will come.